You would not read about this. 92 square metre build, 173 square metres of land, 14% annual growth, 5.7% gross yield. For a budding investor, look, I'm going to get negative gearing, I'm going to get depreciation, and I'm going to get close to a 6% gross rental yield. Why wouldn't I do it? Well, this is why you wouldn't do it. So, as a lot of people know, I grew up in a town called Minyip, which is about 3.5 hours northwest of Melbourne. Population maybe 500 when I was there, probably 200 at best now. So diminishing population, not exactly the growth drivers you would like to see for buying residential property to create wealth. A few weeks ago, something came across my desk. I subscribe to different bits and pieces around the world to see what's happening other than my own internal life. And this house and land specialist was trying to flog something off at a 500k package. I want to do some numbers around this, okay, to give you an understanding of just how much potential rubbish is out there that people are potentially buying, which they'll realize 5, 10, 15 years later that they paid way too much for it and it's something that hasn't grown in value, and why the hell did I even invest in property? So let's get the numbers. 92 square metre build, 173 square metres of land in a rural town. 173 square metres of land. Right, now I bought a property there about 3 years ago, 900 square metres, 3-bedroom house. I paid 140,000 for it. Okay, just so kids can go back there, like there might be some future for someone in my family back there one day. Didn't buy it for capital growth, mind you. The land value I put at about $28,000 based on what I paid for it, right? And the fact that there's been no growth maybe in the last couple of years, okay? Build cost, $472,000. So that comes in at just over $5,000 per square metre, right? We're building things for $4,000 a square metre now. I would say medium spec homes, okay? So it's roughly $1,000 per square metre too much for this. So I reckon conservatively, it's about 100 to 140k too expensive. Now, someone off the street has probably bought this already because of what they've promised or what they've said in the marketing, but they have paid way too much for this in a market that's not growing and they don't even realise it. Right? This is what's out there, ladies and gentlemen. There's so much rubbish out there to buy through unsuspecting people that don't know what they're doing but just want to basically get into the market, and they think, well, why not? 500k is extremely affordable. 5.7% gross yield is what they're forecasting. Right now, that might be somewhere close to the truth. Right, we may get good rentals because there's not a lot of rental opportunities in that town, but there is an occasional person that rolls in and says, okay, I need something to rent. So they might like the idea of renting something new, okay? So let's run with the fact that it might be rented and we might get that sort of yield. For a budding investor, look, I'm going to get negative gearing, I'm going to get depreciation, and I'm going to get close to a 6% gross rental yield. Why wouldn't I do it? Well, this is why you wouldn't do it. It's 100 to 140 grand too expensive for a start. So there's a lot of profit being given to the developer or whoever's promoting the property themselves. They're forecasting a 14% annual growth. 14%. Now, if you go and look at Cotality over the last 20 years, Minyip has grown by an average of 14%. So I get where they're coming from there, but it's gone from 53,000 to what it is today, just over 200,000. So technically, yes, that is a 14% growth per annum on average. However, when you're buying in $300,000 above the median price, we're not getting 14% annual growth, right? That is, I'm pretty certain that that's not going to happen, okay? Buyer demand is low and will continue to be. Population's diminishing, no diverse industry. I can go on for hours about why this is a terrible investment. However, they're out there, right? So not every property is a great opportunity. In actual fact, it's probably less than 5% of all property on the market or off the market is actually a good opportunity. For you, for anyone else, right? You need to know your strategy, you need to know your numbers, okay? Don't get caught up in this stuff just because, oh yeah, 500k fits my price point, and you know what? The government said I can claim some negative gearing and I can get some depreciation, fantastic. So if it's worth 550 in 10 years time, at least I've got some depreciation. Okay, that's not why we get into real estate. So understand the dynamics of what makes real estate tick, and do your research on the market that you're about to buy in. Glossy marketing looks very attractive on a one-pager. You've got to dig deeper when you're doing your research. If you want to have a chat, by the way, link below.